Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. Today I am super excited about this conversation. It's going to be awesome because we are going to be speaking to every business out there, because this is one of the biggest questions we get all the time is, what marketing should I be doing? Should I be doing this, or should I be doing this, or should I be doing this? And the answer is you should be doing common sense marketing. Now, maybe you've never heard of what that is, and that's kind of because Troy and I invented that. It's common sense, meaning wherever you are at in business, the level you're at, the marketing should match that. So bootstrapping doesn't make sense with certain marketing. When you're doing $100 and something thousand a year, it doesn't make sense with certain marketing. And even when you're doing millions of dollars a year, there's only certain marketing you should be doing. Now, really, you want to get to a point where you're doing all of the different types of marketing, because it's like a pie, right?
Yep.
You have to have every ingredient to that pie to make it taste good. Otherwise, it's going to not taste very good. But you have to get to that point. You might not be ready for all the ingredients at this point where you're at in business. So what is common sense marketing? Well, it means that when you're bootstrapping it, you're only going to be doing these different types of marketing. And we're going to kind of walk you through each one of those things. So I had a client come in the other day that was really excited because he's just getting started. He's brand new. It's an industry where you can make a ton of money, but he wanted to jump right into online marketing. And the problem with online marketing is it's expensive. You can get visibility right away, but you have to pay for it. And it's not like the best place to get started in. And so when we did the market analysis, he was gonna have to spend 10 to 12 grand a month just to get started in online. And he only really wanted to spend $1,500 a month. And that was a stretch for him. And so I had to say, look, there's other types of marketing that you can get started with and then grow to that online marketing. So let's jump in to what some of those different things are. And then we'll talk a little bit later about our business and what we've done and how we've grown it and how it kind of progressed over the years. So what's one of the first ways that somebody that's just maybe getting started, or a great way, I don't care where you're at in business, if you're not doing it, you should be doing it. What's one of the first ways they should do it, Troy?
Yeah, so every business should have this, which is a referral partner program.
Yeah.
Right? But especially when you're getting started in the very beginning, it's crucial to have a referral partner program.
Yes.
And there's a couple different ways that you can do referrals. The first one is, let's say you've just got a handful of clients that you're servicing right now.
Right.
Well, you want to go to those clients, you want to make sure they're super happy, and then you want to ask them for referrals from their friends or family or different people they know. So it's a very cheap way to, get out and get in front of more clients without having to spend a ton of money. You're basically, instead of leveraging cash, you're leveraging the relationship that you have with that client, right? To get more clients. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is, if you're trying to find, these specific clients and they're going to be your clients, one way to do is to go out there and look at who has my clients already.
That's right.
So what partner out there already has the people that I want to be my clients, and then how can I partner with them so that they will bring their clients to me, and now I can greatly increase the number of clients that I have, right? So this is a wonderful way to do it as well. And now, when it comes to that type of partner, you got to do it a little bit different. You need to be able to incentivize them to give you, those referrals.
Nobody does anything for free.
Exactly, right? Because think about it. What are they doing? They're working their butt off every single day trying to grow their business. And they're focusing, they may be working 10, 12 hours a day. Do they want to, carve out an hour or two every day to refer people over to you for free? No, absolutely not, right? So you've got to come up with an incentive, right, that you're going to give them that says, hey, refer people over to me and it's going to help grow your business too.
Yep.
You're going to make money. That's one of the things that we did in our business right off the bat. I remember we had like 14 clients in the very beginning. And in a 30-day window, we literally added like 300 new clients. And we've shared that story in one of our previous podcasts.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard that story and you want to know how we did it, go back, listen to the previous podcast, and you'll catch that out, right? But it was we just grew exponentially in a 30-day window because we found the right partner who had the right clients, and then we incentivized him to make it happen.
Yes.
So now one of the big benefits of referral partners is there's no money up front that you have to pay. Right? You're basically paying for performance. Yeah. So we love that, especially when you're a new business. Now, again, if you're a multi-million-dollar business, you still should be doing this, right? It's still a huge part of our business today, but it's a great way to get started.
And it blows my mind, because I can't tell you how many businesses we walk in their door. They are doing a lot of money. They have a great established business, but they don't have any kind of referral program set up. And I'm just like, you are missing the boat. You are missing out on so much money that is out there, because think about it. When you have a great experience with somebody, you want to share it with other people.
Yes.
When you have a great mechanic, for instance, right? You want to share that, because the mechanic world, everybody's like, man, they're shysters. I hate when my car breaks down because I got to take it in and they're just going to tell me that, how do I know what they're telling me is true? That's also something that's in the dental world. That's a problem they face too, is how do we know that, this tooth really needs to be extracted, or I need a crown on this tooth, or I have a cavity in this tooth? I mean, that is an industry that is plagued with shysters, unfortunately, out there. So when you have good experiences, you become very loyal and you want to tell people about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you said that, because I literally have business cards from my mechanic in my car, like sitting in my car, because people ask me like, oh, hey, who do you use for your mechanic? Oh, here, let me grab his business card and give it to you.
Right.
Why am I carrying around his business cards? Because he does an amazing job.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why I do it. I'm a loyal customer.
I have my tint guy. I just got my new vehicle tinted. I got my wife's vehicle tinted. He does an amazing job. And it's funny because today I was getting my front windshield fixed from having a crack. And the guy was like, oh, hey, who does your tint? It looks really good. And so here I am giving a window guy my tint guy's business card, and giving referrals. And that, that's going to generate him more business. Now, if my tint guy, I'm doing it solely off of we're doing it from a perspective of just consumers, right? Yes. But if he had a referral program, dude, I would be out singing his praises and being like, hey, look, my tint guy is the bomb. Troy, do you want to get your windows tinted? If he had some sort of hey, you get $100 every time I tint a window, or, something like that, yes, I would be more incentivized. So that's something that businesses should set up. And that's a good segue into our next topic or thing that you should be doing, which is reviews, customer reviews. So I want to be a raving fan. When I hire someone or get a service, I go in with the expectation that I'm going to become a raving fan. And that's the right perspective. I mean, I think a lot of people go in and go, man, they've been screwed over too many times. And so we don't have good attitudes. But for me, because I'm in the review industry, the review world with SoTellUs, I'm all about hey, I'm going to have an awesome experience. And then I'm going to become a raving fan instead of a raving lunatic, because that's what you're going to create with reviews. Is either raving fans or raving lunatics. And they're going to go out and tell everybody that you suck. So don't have bad service, have great service. But you want to be getting reviews, because reviews actually will get you more referrals as well. So you can use that in your website. You can put your reviews on your website of all your happy clients. It will be out on the internet organically with Google and Facebook and all of these places, right? So tell us all over the internet. Also, people who do reviews are more likely to refer because they had this great experience with you, right? And then a day or two, and so they're on a high, and maybe they tell somebody, one or two people that day, and they're super stoked. But then a couple days later, it kind of wears off. But then they get this invite to do a review, and they relive that experience of that, you are awesome. This is a great service. This is a great product. I want to tell people about it. So it actually sparks that again, and they go and tell a few more people. So it's a great way to get more referrals, more business. And by the way, people are looking online every single day. I mean, you didn't used to have reviews, but you have to have reviews now. If you don't have reviews, you're dying. You're a dinosaur. You're in trouble, because people go online and they purchase or they get a service based on the reviews.
Yeah, right? You have to have a strategy to be capturing reviews. It's funny. I was talking to a client just the other day, and we were going over some stuff, and he was saying, he goes, yeah, it's really interesting. He goes, I get people who are in my industry, in my area, asking me man, how come your business is growing so fast? And how come you're doing so much better? And, I've been in the same business longer than you, but you seem to be growing way faster than I am. Yep. And I asked him, and I said, well, what's the difference? And he goes, well, what's really funny is, he goes, I can have people tell me dude, your website sucks. And yet you're doing way better than me. And he goes, but what they don't look at, and it's so obvious, is when you go to Google and you do a search for our service in our area, yep. He's like, I'm killing it. He goes, I have way more reviews than anybody else.
Totally.
And he goes, so that's what it is. He goes, every time my phone rings and I pick it up, I ask them, I go, how did you hear about me? Or what, or what did you hear about me? And they go, oh, I saw your tons of reviews online and that's why I picked you. He goes, they didn't pick me because my website looks freaking awesome.
Totally.
He goes, in fact, the guy is actually getting his website redone right now. But he's like, I literally built my business on the fact that I have the best reviews in my area.
Absolutely.
And everybody picks me.
That's right. So it spurs online organic traffic, right? And more referrals from those existing happy customers. All right, moving on. So, okay, just to recap, what are we doing? We're looking for referrals. We're figuring out how can we get referrals out of consumers, and then how can we go and maybe partner up with, hey, did I give some ideas here of a tint guy and a window guy, maybe being able to refer to each other? That's key there. So all of my tint guys out there, all of my window guys, go get with other people in similar industries, right? All of my businesses, and create some sort of referral program. And then go get reviews, which is going to help you get more business, right? So what's the next thing that we could do?
All right. So the next one we're going to talk about is like direct mail marketing.
Ooh.
So direct mail marketing is good.
That makes some people cringe. Yep. And that makes some people excited because we got the old school guys that are like, man, direct mail marketing. Yeah, they've been doing it for years. But we got the new guys that are like, can that really work?
Exactly.
Troy's got experience with this, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You get the new guys are like, oh, no, I'm going online. Like direct mail marketing doesn't work. Nobody looks at their mail anymore. And yet we see clients all the time that are very, very successful with direct mail marketing.
Yep.
But it's how they do direct mail marketing.
Correct.
So direct mail marketing, it's great for local businesses when you're trying to target a geographic area. So if you have a service area that you're going after, direct mail marketing is a great way to do it if you do it the right way. So you want to target the areas that are going to be the very best, and you're going to want to hit those people multiple times.
Absolutely.
Because we know that, one contact isn't going to work.
Yep.
You need to get to them multiple times. And it's very important that when you're doing direct mail marketing that you are tracking your ROI.
Yeah.
So you want to know how many pieces are going out. You want to have something on there, whether it's a tracking phone number or, a promo code, something like that. You need to make sure that there's a way for you to track you and calculate the ROI, because there's a lot of print marketing out there that doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
But there are ones that work really, really well. One of my favorite ones is, in the service industry we call the 5 around.
Yeah.
Which is basically, you go to someone's house, you do a service, whether it's a carpet cleaner, a window washer, something like that, right? You did an amazing job, or maybe you paint houses and their house looks amazing. Why wouldn't you market to the 5 houses right around them that you just did an amazing job for?
And I can't tell you how many people, clients of ours, that have never thought of this. They've never been like, oh, yeah, oh, that's right, I just did a job right here. Why don't I hit their neighbors? It's amazing to me.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're working, and a lot of times, a lot of businesses, you'll have your sweet spots geographically that work really well for you. So target those, and target the 5 around. Market to the people right around, and get their business. Because again, what's going to happen if you can market to them correctly, and you're like, hey, guess what? I just did your neighbor's house and it looks amazing. What are they going to do? They're either going to just buy from you because the house looks amazing, or they're going to go over and talk to the neighbor, and the neighbor's going to go, oh my gosh, they were absolutely great.
Yes.
And now, again, it's direct mail marketing that turned into basically a referral or a review, and then closed you a sale. So direct mail marketing is another really good way to do it, as long as you track the ROI.
And you do it right. Like we've learned from our good buddy Josh, who is the king of direct mail marketing, right? He is all about targeting. So you're going to target, you can actually target neighborhoods. People don't realize that. So maybe you're a high-end maid service, and you want to get in Arizona, we've got White Wing, right?
Yep.
And it's a custom neighborhood, and it's very exclusive, and it's kind of hard to market inside there because you're not getting through the gates. But you could mail them something. And so people don't realize that you can target a neighborhood and actually hit that. Or if you really know what you're doing and you're using an awesome software, then you can even target houses with just in a neighborhood, specific houses. So direct mail marketing is definitely not dead, people. It works, and it works for great in certain industries especially. Now, just to recap real quick though, referrals, that is free. You can do that for free. That's a startup. That's a great way to start your business. Reviews, you can do that for very little money to almost no money, and then ramp that up and get a system like SoTellUs that will help you really ramp that up. But that is very little cost to no cost. And then direct mail marketing. Now we're kind of stepping into the realm of spending the money, right?
Yes.
We're going to spend a little bit of money, but we're going to track it and we're going to know what's coming back. So next, after that, a good one would be events or presentations.
Yes.
Okay, now people don't get lost with me here. I know a lot of my service guys are driving around going, events, presentations. What are you talking about? Well, for instance, my home inspectors, Mike, our good buddy Mike, who is the home inspector guru, he teaches all the home inspectors how to really build their business and grow. He teaches these guys to go in and meet with realtors and to meet with the brokerages and do events, little small events in their office where they can, maybe bring a little luncheon, and then they can do a presentation on why they are the home inspector for these realtors to refer.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people, that's not, I might have just given away a secret of his, but take that and use that. So my service guys, think about your industry. And how could you be doing like a presentation, and who would you be doing a presentation to? I mean, this is going to make sense to like my alarm companies, my pest control guys. They've got dudes out knocking the door, doing presentations every single day. But it's a great way that you can have like maybe get to the masses, or like, let's say instead of one-on-one, you could get to one-to-many. But you can even do it for free. So now if you're in an industry, I talk to my service guys, and let me talk to my other guys that are maybe online or in marketing or anything like that. Events can be a great thing that you can actually get into for free. Did I just say you can get into events for free? And I don't mean by sneaking in, jumping the fence. Back when we were in high school, we were all going to the concert and trying to jump the fence in the back and run from security. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that you can go to an event. We grew huge by going to events and actually getting into them for absolutely free. So the ROI was amazing, right? And what we did is we traded services. So we would go to them and we would say, hey, we will give you SoTellUs for free and let you use it to get event reviews from your event for free if you will give us a space at your event, or you will give us a speaking spot at your event. And they loved it. It was trading services for services, right? For opportunity. Now, the other thing about events and speaking gigs is that when you do have to spend money. So eventually we did have to spend money. We started going to bigger events. We started, speaking on bigger stages instead of being at an event that had 100 people. We were at a 500 event, and then, 1,000 people, and then 5,500 people. And so we wanted to get in front of these people and speak on the stages and everything like that. So we did have to eventually pay to play. And when we did that, the great thing about that is we could control that budget. We knew exactly what that budget was going to be. So versus some of this other marketing where the budget varies and it's like, okay, well, the market analysis says that this is probably what it's going to be, but then you dive in and you're like, oh crap, it's more money and I really can't afford that. Our events were a fixed cost.
Yes.
We knew that it was going to cost us $1,500. It was going to cost us $10,000. It was going to cost us $25,000 or $50,000, or to get on the big stages, you're $100,000. But we knew what the event was. We knew how many attendees were going to be there. We were able to pick those events specifically and make sure that this is like, these are our people. This is our avatar. And then when we spent that money, it was a fixed cost, which was great for our budget, right? And for growth. So that's another way that you can kind of start to slide into the next level of making money and still but having to spend money to get there. Like you can do a little bit of free, then you got to spend a little bit more, and then you can keep growing with that, but knowing what that budget's going to be, which is awesome.
Yeah. The other great thing about events too is most likely you're not going to be doing, tons of events every single month. So it's a budget that you can plan for throughout the year. So it's like, okay, I know I'm going to spend $10,000 in this month. I'm going to spend, another $5,000 3 months down the road. So you have time to recuperate your money from it and be profitable while doing those events.
Absolutely. It's a great way to grow. So what's the next thing, Troy? What can people be doing?
All right. So the next one is branding.
Ooh, fluff marketing.
Yes. So branding is an interesting one. So basically with branding, when you're doing branding, you're not necessarily trading dollars for dollar, right?
Right.
It's not an ROI of like, I'm going to go spend $1 and I'm going to get $10 back.
Right.
That's not how branding works. Let me give you an example of branding. When you sit down and you're watching the Super Bowl and a, Coca-Cola commercial comes on, that is branding. They are not selling you a Coca-Cola right then.
Correct.
They're not expecting you to get up in the middle of the football game, drive to the store, and buy some Coke.
Although the does usually get me.
Right. Exactly. But that's branding. What they're trying to do is they're trying to keep their brand in front of you, and they need to do it consistently so that when you do actually go to the store, you make the choice of Coke over Pepsi.
Correct.
So that's branding. You can't track dollar to dollar for it. But it is a, kind of an overall brand. And it can happen in commercials. It can happen in radio. It can happen on social media sites, Instagram. All of that is branding, right? Because you're not selling dollar for dollar, on social media. You're creating posts, you're creating content, you're putting it out there, and you're hoping that money comes back.
And really quick to interject there, people try to do the dollar for dollar on a lot of the social media, but the problem with it is those are the people that come back and go, social media doesn't work. I tried social media and it doesn't work. I get that all the time. Social media doesn't work. Well, let me tell you, we make millions of dollars off of social media. Okay? It's just not this whole dollar for dollar type of thing.
Exactly. So absolutely. So that's what branding is. Now, we're going to be talking more about branding in a future podcast. We'll do a podcast just about branding for you guys and dive really deep on there. But this is one of those things that you do not want to do like when you are a brand new business.
Oh, no, not at all.
So I'll give you one caveat to that. When you are creating your business, when you're starting your business, you want to know what your brand is and what it's going to be. Correct. Meaning that you're going to create your logo, you're going to create maybe your catchphrase, you're going to have, your basic design, but you're not going to go spend tons of money on this. You're just going to do that, planning ahead that in the future, I'm going to be doing branding and more marketing. And so I have a brand, but I'm not putting tons of money into it. And that's really important because I can't tell you how many times I've seen a business where they will drop $25,000 to create a new brand. And then they'll show up at like an event that we're at and it's like, hey, everything looks new. But guess what? They don't get any more sales. They don't get any more traffic. They spend a ton of money just basically changing the look.
Oh, it's terrible.
So, so we'll talk about branding in a future podcast of how to do it, but it's something, again, that you are not going to be focused on when you're a smaller business.
That's right. And when do we do branding? So let's talk about that. When are we going to do branding? Those are going to be for our clients, honestly, in my opinion, depending on your industry and the service. You got to look at it and you got to make sure it's right. But the right place for us was when we were doing millions of dollars, when we had like so much free cash that we could spend the money, not worry about it, not like try to track every dollar coming back because it's impossible. It's a terrible way to try to do business and it makes you fail and it makes you feel like certain things don't work. So for us, when we were doing millions of dollars and we had that extra cash flow, we were able to take that money, put it into branding, and it was actually a great feeling. I mean, it's so funny. It sounds weird to say I loved spending money that I didn't have to track every dollar for dollar that was coming back because that meant we had hit this certain level. And see, we're still really smart about our marketing and even our branding, right? And brand awareness. But it was like, look, we've hit this to where I can spend this money. And even if it's not going to bring anything back this month, I'm just fine. My company is soaring. So that's where I look at it. So whatever that position is for you, if that's hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, when you can freely spend the money, you don't get that sick feeling in your gut like, oh my gosh, I just spent how much? It doesn't matter. That is when you want to do and focus on branding, right?
Yes.
When you can spend the money and it doesn't matter how much it's going to bring back immediately. It's for the future. It's longevity, right?
It has to, you want it to bring back money. You don't want to just spend it and it never comes back.
Yeah. But it just doesn't have to be that month.
Exactly. You're not going, oh my gosh, I'm going to put out $1,000 now. And if that $1,000 does not come back in the next 2 weeks, I'm going out of business. That's not branding.
Yes.
So
that is not.
All right. So Trevor, let's go on to the last type of marketing that we're going to talk about today.
And this is the biggest one. These are the ones that everybody looks at, right? This is the one that everybody's going after. It's online marketing. And so it's a great way to grow your business. Like I said, we do it. We have all these different aspects. In fact, the 3 aspects of our business is online, referrals and referral partners, and then presentations. And in presentations, each one of those has a breakdown of each like levels within each one. And we'll talk about that more in just a second of how we do that. So we can give you a real life, experience with that. But online is going to be your SEO. It's going to be your Google ads. It's going to be your Facebook, your social media, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Pinterest, if that works for you. Now, here's the thing is when people come to us and they say, okay, and that's what most people are talking about when they say marketing. They're like, I want to do marketing. And they mean they want to do online marketing. Yes. So which online marketing should I do? Well, you should do it all. If it makes sense, common sense marketing. And I'll give you a perfect example. So some of the online marketing that we personally do is we do like PPC, we do SEO, we do Instagram, and we do Facebook. Those are our primary online marketing avenues, right?
So real quick, let's define PPC in case somebody doesn't know what that means.
Pay per click. So that's Google pay per clicks. That's the top 3. Usually when you do a search and you see those top 3 and it says ad next to it, that is literally you are paying for every time someone clicks it. So it is expensive, but if you can make it work like we do, it can pay off like gold, right? We have a client that does remodels and dustless floor tile removal, and he does PPC and he crushes it. It's amazing. So as long as it makes sense, it's a perfect thing for you. So when people say to me, what should I do for my marketing? And they're talking about online marketing. I'm like, all of these things. But let me tell you where it doesn't work. For instance, I told you we do SEO, PPC, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay. Well, and there's more. There's LinkedIn, right? There's Twitter. There's all these things, and Pinterest. We personally don't do Pinterest. When I went and tried. When I went and looked at Pinterest, it just didn't make sense for our industry. Back to common sense marketing. When you sign up for a Pinterest account, there's like 10 different categories that you can be in for putting your business under. Well, guess what? My services don't fall under any of those categories. There was no reviews and referrals. There was no reputation management. There was no marketing. There was no consulting. It was all boutique-y type of stuff, right? So for fitness people, for boutiques, for online shops, for clothing companies, for some of these, I would even drinks, honestly, like if I sold energy drinks, I would probably go on Pinterest and I would just figure out, because I think they had one that was like online store or shop or something like that. But so Pinterest did not work for us. So where we stick for is the SEO, the Google ads, the PPC, the PPC, which is Google ads, the Facebook, and the Instagram. Now, LinkedIn is another really good one as well. We don't really build that one as much. We have done some marketing in that. It works. And trust me, again, I'm not going to be the guy that's like, it just doesn't work. But I find that the ones I just named have been the best for us. And let me tell you something, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on this marketing. PPC alone, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on. And then let's kind of jump into that. So looking at our business, we do our 3 main areas, which is online marketing, and that encompasses everything we just talked about. We have our referral program, right? And referral partners, which we talked about. And then we have our events and speaking gigs, right? Which encompasses podcasts and webinars and events and everything like that. What's cool about our business, or what we have seen, and I love, is each one of those, it's like 33%. Each one of those generates us 33% of our business every single month, meaning new clients, generating new clients every single month, which is awesome. So that makes up 100% of our new clients. Now, online. So through our Instagram and through our PPC and SEO and our Facebook and all these ads and everything that we're running out there, we are generating 33% of our new customers. Then same thing with the webinars and the presentations and the events. Same thing with the referral partners and the referrals that come in just from existing happy clients. So if you were to take a look at that, Troy, and say, okay, brand new business. We've been doing this for 20 years. Brand new business comes in and says, hey, I want to jump in and I want to do this. If we would have just been focusing on the one, right? And the more expensive ones, because we did kind of focus on the one, obviously, in the beginning, which was referral partners, right? But we did it with that's the one that doesn't cost a lot of money, right? Or any money. up front. So we did build that. But if we were to just come in and say, okay, I want to do events. Well, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on events. We didn't have that when we first started. If I said, I just want to do online, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in a previous podcast, I go over the last 6 months and how we've spent $160,000 just on online and sales guys, right?
Yep.
And so, and we had what I actually go over the numbers of what we have generated from that and how it could look scary, but really because we know our numbers, it's awesome and we're crushing it and it's amazing. We're growing just like crazy. So you've got to look at it like that. And if you really follow along this, these steps that we just kind of gave you and outlined for you, this outline that we have, you can absolutely grow your business in the direction of not having to get funding, not having to take out loans, right? I mean, some of you are going to have to, you're going to have your trucks and, chemicals and equipment and stuff like that. But you don't want to have to necessarily grow the business by taking out loans for marketing.
Exactly.
And a lot of guys are going to jump in and want to try to do something. So if you look at it, guys, go through this outline, start with the referrals, then check out the reviews. Then you can look into like direct marketing or events or, online. And then in my opinion, because I am a full believer in the referrals thing is like the first place to start.
Yes.
Where can you get referrals from friends and family and all this stuff? And then reviews are going to go right hand in hand with that. And then from there, you determine what's best. Direct marketing, online, events, presentations, or a little bit of everything,
Exactly.
and spending it. And then the very last thing that we do is branding, right?
That's right. That's where you end up is with the branding towards the end. Once you've got all those other marketing channels cranking in sales, that's when you can focus on, all right, now let's start doing branding and start growing the brand awareness of the company.
Right.
But you don't want to do that before you already have those channels coming in. Because like Trevor said, if we just did referrals, we'd only get 33% of our sales every month. If we just did online, I hate to say this, but you need to hear it. There are only so many sales online.
Yes.
Like it's not endless.
There's totally
only so many consumers out there that want to buy your product or can buy your product because you're limited by geographic area or what the product is or the service. So, don't be fooled into believing that you can just, exponentially raise your budget, online by tens of thousands of dollars every single month.
Yes.
And you'll get more sales.
Right.
Because that's not true.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it just doesn't work that way.
You hit a plateau of where you will just start spending more than what you can bring in clients. And then it's like you have to really find that. And that's why working with the right people, right, Troy, is so important. Working with the right people is so important because they'll spend your money. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people will spend your money. I mean, we're rare because we won't spend your money if it's not going to work. We wouldn't do anything for our clients that we wouldn't do for ourselves or don't do for ourselves. And that's why, you can see it, right? And that's one of our big selling points of like, look, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and generate millions of dollars in marketing, right? Is what we're doing.
Yes.
We spend all the money and we market and we generate the millions of dollars. So we do what we preach. We practice what we preach. But that's the thing is you will find that like with PPC, for instance, you will spend, on one of our products, the Post Place, we were spending $1,500 a month when we first got started online, finally had built the company up a little bit and we're spending that money. And then we started spending $3,000 and then $6,000 and then $8,000 and $12,000 and then $15,000. We went up to like $17,000 and then like we hit that $20,000. And then we like realized as we were watching the numbers, and this is why it's so important to watch those numbers, is that we weren't generating any more sales each month at $20,000 as we were at $12,000. So what was cool about it is we immediately dropped it back to that $12,000 and then we had maxed it out. There was no more.
And then what we did is we took that $8,000 extra and we put that into a different form of marketing.
Correct.
So that we could hit a different audience. So that's why it's so important to, go through and start getting, and again, putting processes in place. So it's like, all right, I've got my referral system in place and it's working and that's bringing in leads. Now I'm going to do my reviews. I've got a system that's in place. It's bringing it in. I've got my events that I'm doing, so you have multiple channels coming in and then you can maximize all the channels and get more sales and grow the business.
Exactly. All right. Well, any last words, Troy? I think we gave them tons of knowledge nugget bombs there.
No, that's it.
That was awesome. So that's all we've got for you today, guys. Hey, we are so grateful that you guys are listening to this. We know you are growing. And if you're implementing these things, we absolutely know it because we consult with thousands of businesses and we have helped them grow. And this is the same tips, tricks, secrets, and little just, nuggets that we have learned over the last 20 years of helping these other businesses grow as well as ourselves. That's the other thing, is never work with someone who isn't doing it themselves or has done it themselves, because if they haven't done it, how can they help you do it? Right? So thank you guys for listening. Share this podcast. If you guys are liking this podcast or any of our other podcasts, take a screenshot from your phone. Share it on your social media. Tell everybody how awesome it is so that we can help more businesses out there. Go and subscribe, like, share. We have a YouTube channel that you can go check out these videos on. We're just going to keep this thing growing. Please share it with everybody so that we can help you grow and you can help us grow and we can help other people grow. And there is enough money out there for everybody. That is definitely something to know and feel and believe in your hearts and your minds. So thank you guys. We will see you guys on the next So Tell Us Time. Say bye-bye, Troy.
See you later.